Recently we've been getting a ton of Bethesda news, and it's all kind of been swept under the rug, or at least that's how I personally feel about it. We got this massive leak a while ago that showed how in 2020 Bethesda had plans for a Fallout 3 remaster and an Oblivion remaster, both of which are obviously really exciting, but that news kind of came and went, and nobody is really talking about it anymore. On top of that, myself and plenty of other content creators have heard from rumours down the grapevine how Bethesda supposedly wants to kill off Fallout 76 by mid next year. We've heard how Bethesda apparently has more DLC plans with Starfield than any of their past games. The Fallout TV show trailer leaked, so we just got the release date for it. We heard how Bethesda is now in full development with Elder Scrolls 6 and plenty of other things. I'm sure by now most of you know this stuff. But what I want to talk to you about today is the most recent Bethesda announcement, and it's actually a pretty huge one. Just yesterday, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, stated the following: "Great games are fundamental to everything we do. We believe that an expanded gaming content organisation, one that enables Xbox Game Studios and ZeniMax's development studios to collaborate effectively together, will empower those world-class studios to do their best work on growing our portfolio of games players love. Matt Booty will lead this expanded organisation as president, game content and studios." What does this actually mean? Now, I'm sure most of you know, but a lot of people don't seem to realise the difference between the different Bethesda studios. For example, Bethesda Softworks is the publisher owned by ZeniMax. Bethesda Game Studios is a development team that works on Elder Scrolls, Starfield, Fallout, etc. And I hope that that sort of clears things up. So what this means is, in short and basic terms, Xbox/Microsoft are planning to work and look closely at all of their teams. This is to sort of help ensure that things like Redfall don't happen again. Obviously, Redfall was not a successful launch, it didn't do very well, and sadly not many people enjoyed it and ended up giving it a negative review. So by working closely with the game developers in the future, Xbox will try and make sure that things like this don't happen again. Basically, I'm really simplifying it, but the full article is in the description below if you want to read further into this. But of course this isn't just Bethesda, I just used Bethesda for an example here because we mostly talk about Bethesda on my channel. Xbox will now start looking and working closer with pretty much all of their studios, including Obsidian. And that's what's really exciting, but also a little worrying for me, and actually what I want to spend most of this video talking about. A lot of people, including Mr. Matty Plays, who honestly is probably my biggest inspiration when it comes to YouTube, thinks that this could lead to a Fallout New Vegas 2, or at the very least give us a bigger chance for Fallout New Vegas 2. And while I do agree with that, is that really what we want? Not to shit on anyone's opinions, but before we go into it, I need to say, I am one of the biggest Fallout fans you will ever meet. I love Fallout. I live and breathe Fallout. And I would love for another game like New Vegas to release fairly soon, but it needs to be said, Obsidian's last big RPG was The Outer Worlds, which I think a lot of people will agree, while good, was nothing to write home about. Like, yes, it is a very good RPG, but it fell really flat in a lot of areas for me personally. Like, personally, the exploration was really lacking, and the blurry visuals gave me heavy motion sickness, which I never get. Outer Worlds was actually the first game I ever got motion sickness from, and I've been gaming for over 20 years at this point in my life. Of course, we could take a look at Avowed, and while yes, it will probably be a decent game at the very least, it doesn't look all that exciting, at least to me. I feel like that's the general reception most people have from the Avowed trailer and from what I've seen. Avowed just looks like yet another fantasy game. There's not really anything here that makes me super excited for it. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Obsidian, I really do, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little bit disappointed in the Outer Worlds, and that I honestly think Avowed looks extremely basic and even aged. While I'm sure that I will enjoy Avowed, like it will probably be one of the best games that come out next year, there's nothing really here that's making me jump up and down on my chair and start counting down the days until I can play it. Of course, this is just one person's opinion. I'm still going to play Avowed, I'll probably make content on the game, and even really enjoy it like I just said, but I don't think it will be anything amazing like, say, Skyrim. But to bring that little rant full circle, do we really want another Fallout from Obsidian? Again, I'm trying to be as open-minded as I can here, and of course, all due respect to Obsidian, like I said, I do love Obsidian, I love a lot of their recent games. New Vegas is one of my favourite games of all time, but I think what a lot of people aren't understanding is the vast majority of the people who worked on New Vegas have left Obsidian now. Like, that team that made New Vegas all those years ago, over a decade ago, is basically non-existent now. They've all left. And after how kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, mediocre I found the Outer Worlds, and how, honestly, extremely dated I think Avowed looks, I'm just not as hyped for a possible Obsidian Fallout game like I would have been 10 years ago. But with all of that said, let's look at the other side of it. Honestly, I've been so starved for Fallout content in recent years that I will take anything I can get at this point. I really don't think I can wait another 10 or more years for Fallout 5, so if Bethesda and Xbox want to give the rights to another development team for a couple years and let them make a spin-off, then I'm all for it. In fact, I want this to happen because I really don't want to wait another decade for the next Fallout game. I just don't know if Obsidian is the team to do it anymore, if I'm being fully honest with you, and honestly that breaks my heart a little bit to say. But overall, it is great that Xbox are now planning to work more closely with their teams to ensure that things like Redfall don't happen again. This is what Xbox should have done in the first place. I still remember when that article came out saying that Xbox had no idea how bad Redfall was until it launched, and it was just super embarrassing, so I definitely think that this is a big, welcome change. But anyway, that is my thoughts on the most recent news, so please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, I kindly ask that you leave it a like and consider subscribing to stay more up to date on straight to the point Bethesda and other single player content. Lastly, as always, a huge and massive thank you to our channel members, you guys mean the world. But with all of that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.